Boston University School of Medicine
is dedicated to the educational,
professional, and personal development
of a diverse group of students and faculty
who are committed to medicine,
biomedical research,
and the health of the public.
We as a community place great value
on educational excellence,
innovation,
compassion,
and inclusion.
We are Boston Medicine.
We are Boston University School of Medicine.
Stethoscopes for students is where we get alums to basically pay for the stethoscopes for the first year students. I think it's a visible example of the hard work, the sacrifices, and really their dreams of what their future is going to be.
They come in the door and they pick up their bags with their equipment, they pick up their beautifully donated stethoscopes and the book that's being donated by Dr. Dooling. And they go and they write a thank you note for their stethoscope.
You went through this last year, right?
Yes.
And what was this experience like for you?
It was amazing. I got to read a note from my donor of my stethoscope, and it was my first experience kind of touching any of the medical equipment and knowing that it was mine.
Alexander? Yep. Alrighty. Alvarani. There you go.
Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you.
This was great. This was like the first tangible proof that I am moving forward in the medical education, and up until now it's just been kind of knowledge, and this actually makes me kind of start to look like a doctor.
I originally wanted to stay in the MSR because I thought it'd be very convenient to live close to school and with a lot of my peers.
I grew up in Buffalo, New York, went to the University of Buffalo, and so coming up here, I had one friend. Other than that, I had no idea what the neighborhoods were like. The MSR is a great place to be for your first year. Really one of the hardest things coming to medical school is figuring out where your community is going to be, and this is the greatest place to meet people. It was just too convenient to turn it down.
I think it's like about a 5-minute walk to class.
It's like a 5-10 minute walk depending on how fast you walk.
I like the idea of being able to walk to school. Well, I can be there in 5-10 minutes. One of my favorite things is that there's laundry in the basement.
The fact that it's just down in the basement is really convenient.
Completely new stove, completely new refrigerator, completely new just everything.
I think one of my favorite things is just the gym downstairs. It has most of the things that I would want.
If I want to go for a run in the middle of my day, feeling stressed from studying, I can just hop on down and run for a couple miles.
Get cable, internet, heat and hot water, all your electricity. It's so nice having a backyard, having a basketball court, having a little soccer field.
When the weather's nice, sometimes I'll play volleyball with a couple people. Also in the back of the MSR.
We meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds, and people have similar interests.
There's always somebody that, if you're having a tough time, trying to figure out how to study for a certain topic, there's always somebody that's there willing to help.
I would say definitely consider the MSR is for support academically and socially.
I've formed a lot of really, really close friendships in a really short amount of time. There's enough resources around that you can go and find food, go out, do anything with friends that you really want to do. I can't really complain about it at all.
Match day is the day that the medical students find out where they're going to spend the next several years of their career. It's the day that they've been really working towards for their whole time in medical school, the 4+ years.
I'm applying into OBGYN, which if you would have asked me 4 years ago, I probably wouldn't have said OB-GYN. Now I feel like it was what I was always meant to do.
There's a certain ethos that family medicine has that I think we're well suited for.
We both went into it because we really sincerely just wanted to help people.
The match program was started back in the 1950s as a way to match open residency positions with graduating medical students.
What I wanted was a big safety net hospital, underserved population where the residents work very hard, but they get to do a lot and see a lot and learn a lot.
We both definitely have that value within us that pushed us towards family medicine.
It's incredibly competitive and getting more and more competitive every year, and that's certainly anxiety provoking. It's often not really clear what the program is looking for.
We're also really far from our families. Chris's family's in Texas, my parents are in Mexico, so that's been challenging.
My fiance is down in Miami, and so we had a lot of discussions about what we were going to do, and it's very difficult because you're ranking these programs based on one day that you went there and that you saw the residents.
Me and my cousins are sort of the first group to actually go to college and get 4-year degrees and move on. And I'm the only one that's gone into medicine.
It's stressful because there are a lot of unknowns. Students, even though they may know that they're competitive for a field, they're confident of the field that they chose, it's not really clear to them which program is the best fit for them.
There's a good chance that we won't be in the same city, and I think we're very dedicated to each other, and we both understand what the other person is going through, and so I know that whatever happens, we will be able to make it work.
We would love it if we matched in Texas to get a little bit closer to our family, but to tell you the truth, I think we'd be happy at any of the 3 places.
Match day is probably in many ways more exciting than graduation. Students know they're going to graduate, but they don't know where they're going to end up for residency.
I think it's a difficult process to go through, but it's also kind of cool because it's a tradition that you know that your attendings and your chairs of your departments and everyone has gone through the same thing.
We've done all of this together, so the way we look at it is, if we're together, it'll be fine. Yeah.
We've come so far together during this process that we're certainly not going to stop now. So.
Yeah.
I'm actually at USC, LA County.
In the state, right? Yeah.
I had always been a little afraid, I think, subconsciously of the homeless population and, you know, putting myself in the context of working with them or, you know, and even just interacting with them. It always kind of made me a little nervous. And I just wanted to get over that.
It's a unique opportunity. It really is not done a lot of other places. Even the first 2 years that you do it, you really see a lot of things that you would not see within this sort of medical school bubble that we all become really engorged in.
The job of each committee leader is to stock the van. That's obviously the biggest component because we're going there to provide supplies, provide services. We pick up food from the Greater Boston Food Bank. We pick up food from checkers downstairs in the medical school who donate, and we're very grateful that they're able to provide that.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. No problem. Bye. Adios.
We do a little pre-trip briefing where we talk about, you know, what we're going to do, who we're going to see, what the night's going to be like.
My first trip was chaotic, as I think they all are. You get out there and there's just like this mass of people waiting, and so you sort of like get assigned one job. And I was always on the clothing, which is one of the like craziest jobs out there because everybody wants a specific thing in a specific size.
For somebody who lives on the streets, their home exists of areas of public space. And so when you go and you drive the van to an area that's very close to where they sleep, you're in no small way entering a place that they call home.
This one woman who she comes every week. We see her, and she's always been in this kind of transitional state in terms of her housing. And the last time I went out, she finally got permanent housing. And that moment, like, she just kind of mentioned it to me, you know, really quietly. She's like, "Oh, by the way, I have a home now." And I was like, "Oh, that's amazing!" Like, it just really shocked me, and I think that's something that's really gonna stick with me forever. Like,
I need something to wear because I like styles. I like clothes. It's very necessary because I had bed bags and I had to throw everything, and this was a big support for me that I can pay. They just gave me housing, you know, I'm not be working a lot, but right now I don't have money, so. But thanks to my God, we have clothes here, everything, food. Thursday is a happy Thursday.
You never know how you're gonna end up or where you're gonna end up.
It has opened my eyes to what we can do even as students.
The most meaningful experience is when I see the kids out there because they're very happy. They're just like any other kid.
Having had this experience of working with and collaborating with a population that has really complex, disease states and really complex social issues affecting them will make me a better physician for all my patients.
Like other medical schools, we have classrooms, exam rooms, and research laboratories. But we also have rooms that are anything but typical, and what happens in them makes all the difference in the world. These are classrooms. While many medical schools have hospital corridors, we also teach in alleyways where we care for hundreds of homeless per year. These laboratories have taught us so much about CTE and head trauma that the world can no longer ignore the word concussion. Exam rooms such as this are every bit as important as the infectious diseases labs we run, because understanding disease means looking into eyes as well as microscopes. These rooms are part of the world-renowned Framingham Heart Study that won't stop until the learning does. And in rooms in homes like this, we care for the underserved and speak 70 languages a day because people need to be listened to, not talked at. Every day at Boston University School of Medicine, we learn, conduct research, care, teach, discover, and pioneer. In places not everyone goes. The classrooms at the front line of medicine.
Tucked away among the hills of Silicon Valley lies a hidden gem.
It's like everything you'd want to see and more.
BUSM and Kaiser Permanente Medical Center in San Jose and Santa Clara, California, have teamed up to offer a clerkship program like no other.
It's a win-win. We add our technological and integrative aspects. They add the kind of demographic and diversity and strength of their student population.
The year-long curriculum pairs medical students with attending physicians in several specialties for 4 to 8 week rotations.
Students can elect to do the entire year. They can do a 6-month period of time, or more recently we've enabled students to be able to participate in the Kaiser rotations on a clerkship basis. On a given day, there are dozens of cases, whether you're scheduled on your general surgery or your acute care surgery or the cardiac surgery, and the exposure is fantastic.
I've gotten to be first assist on an appendectomy. I've gotten to hold a beating heart in my hand. I've gotten to help close a chest.
You learn more by doing. This is the place to be because there's a lot of chances to do things.
As the only medical school in Massachusetts offering this type of program, BU chose Kaiser for a reason.
We chose to collaborate with Kaiser because it is a patient-centered, data-driven, innovative healthcare system, and the faculty were very eager to become more involved in medical education.
I think it's a great collaboration. We certainly, we have a passionate group of physicians who love teaching.
We spend time on presentation skills, building confidence, time management, forward habits model on how to communicate with patients and families.
According to Danny Sam, Kaiser's not-for-profit venture has long been regarded as a healthcare trailblazer.
It's integration. Kaiser is very well known as an integrated healthcare system.
So it's an integrated healthcare system that really puts the patient at the center of everything that we do. A system that's easy to use, patient-centered, really focuses on group excellence in communication, and finds basically the best people and the best systems and combines that to provide the best quality of care.
And that actually is something we continuously are learning to do better. We're already really good at it, but we're continuously learning to do it better.
Besides gaining clinical experience, BUSM students participate in quality improvement projects and attend weekly virtual teaching sessions.
They do their didactics via telemedicine and telehealth. And they have online programs where they do their small group discussions, their didactic sessions, their group projects with the students who are here back in Massachusetts, so they still have a cohesive connection to the classroom and to their class as a whole.
It's a cross-country clerkship like no other, a partnership teaching model medical care.
We want to prepare these students, but anyone who comes to be trained at Kaiser for 21st century medicine.
Sort of grew out of my interest in wanting to do a community project, and I had a relationship with a shelter in Roxbury. It's a particular shelter for teens and their young children, and so there was not a lot of health topics addressed with these teens. So I thought, well, maybe that's a kind of a space where there was a need in the shelter and there was an interest in participation from the students.
So some shelters, the workshops might be a lot more intimate, like the one I go to. There are usually 3 to 4 mothers that come every week, whereas something like Family Independence, it's a lot bigger and it's 10 to 12 mothers. When we go in to do a workshop on our Wednesday nights, half of us go in to be with the mothers and do the workshop, and 2 of us will go and play with the children.
And the idea was to introduce sort of a health curriculum for them, addressing topics like parenting, vaccination, nutrition for themselves and their child.
So we get to actually build relationships with them and understand what they're going through to the point where they're comfortable opening up to us and telling us more sensitive things. And one of the mothers said, she's like, well, I'm depressed because I live in a place like this. And it was an awe-striking moment for me because on one hand you understand that, but on the other hand you've been going there every other week and talking to the mothers and they seem happy, they seem to be doing well, but then you start to realize all of the things that they can't control.
It's a nice outlet sort of for them, I think, to ask their questions in a non-judgmental way. So to have sort of someone on your side that you feel is going to come back to you week after week and be a reliable presence in your life, I think that they really value that.